I didn't plan to tell this story. Honestly, I tried to forget it, to bury the pieces of myself that broke that day. But some pain doesn't stay buried. It lives in quiet glances, in songs you can't listen to anymore, in the silence between two heartbeats. What happened changed everything. And as I share it with you, moment by moment, I'll reveal things I never thought I'd say out loud. There will be parts that hurt, parts that surprise you, maybe even parts that sound too real to ignore. But if you stay with me to the end, you'll understand why I had to tell it now, why some truths can't stay hidden forever. The city breathed a humid promise of rain, the air thick with the scent of exhaust and ambition. Skyscrapers clawed at a bruised sky, their glass faces reflecting a world of power plays and fleeting victories. This was the arena where they met, where fortunes were made and reputations shattered, the relentless pulse of the advertising world. In this ecosystem of sharks and sirens, Amelia was a quiet current, a steady presence navigating the turbulent waters. She was the secretary, the label they casually applied, the unspoken understanding that she existed to facilitate, to organize, to make the chaos manageable. Her domain was the sprawling, open-plan office of Sterling and Vance, a creative agency known for its daring campaigns and ruthless pursuit of clients. The walls echoed with the frantic energy of brainstorming sessions, the hushed tones of strategy meetings, and the triumphant cheers following a successful pitch. Amelia moved through this environment with a grace that belied its frenetic pace, her steps measured, her focus unwavering. She knew the rhythms of the place, the ebb and flow of deadlines, the subtle nuances of each personality. She was the invisible hand, the silent orchestrator, the one who kept the gears turning. The problem wasn't the workload. She thrived on it. It wasn't the long hours. She was accustomed to them. The true challenge lay in the subtle, insidious ways she was marginalized, the casual dismissals, the unspoken assumptions. She was just the secretary, a phrase that carried the weight of countless unspoken limitations. It meant her opinions were rarely solicited, her contributions rarely acknowledged, her potential perpetually underestimated. The irony wasn't lost on her. She handled the intricate details, the crucial communications, the behind-the-scenes magic that made the agency's success possible, yet she remained relegated to the periphery. The specific context was the upcoming pitch for a new skincare brand, a high-stakes opportunity that promised to be a game-changer for Sterling and Vance. The client, a notoriously demanding and discerning businesswoman named Evelyn Reed, was known for her keen eye and her ability to sniff out insincerity. The agency's creative team, a collection of sharp minds and even sharper egos, were consumed by the pressure, scrambling to craft the perfect campaign. Amelia, as always, was in the eye of the storm, coordinating schedules, preparing presentations, and managing the endless stream of emails and phone calls. The unique angle of this particular script was not about the fight for a promotion or a battle for recognition. It was about something far more profound, the quiet revolution that unfolds when the undervalued find their voice not through confrontation, but through the undeniable power of their own intrinsic worth. It was about the subtle, often invisible ways that competence and compassion, when relentlessly applied, can shatter the barriers of prejudice and redefine the very nature of success. It was about the unexpected journey of a woman who, deemed just the secretary, would ultimately become the key to unlocking the client's trust and, in the process, discover her own untapped potential. The stage was set, the players were in position, and the first act was about to begin. The rain, when it finally came, would wash away the grime of the city and reveal the hidden beauty beneath the surface. The office atmosphere, a pressure cooker before the pitch, amplified the subtle dynamics of power. Within Sterling and Vance, the hierarchy was clear, yet the true influence was often less about titles and more about the currency of knowledge and adaptability. Amelia, viewed as ancillary, possessed a wealth of institutional memory that surpassed many senior executives. She knew the idiosyncrasies of every client, the hidden strengths of every team member, the silent weaknesses the agency preferred to ignore. This was her silent power, a reservoir of understanding that she rarely overtly wielded, yet always subtly employed. Furthermore, consider the nature of client relations. Evelyn Reed, the prospective client, wasn't just buying an advertising campaign. She was seeking a partner, a collaborator who understood her vision. The creative team, obsessed with dazzling concepts, often overlooked the importance of building genuine rapport. They focused on superficial charm, while Amelia, by virtue of her consistent professionalism and meticulous attention to detail, cultivated a quiet trust. Her interactions were marked by efficiency and genuine empathy, creating an environment where clients felt heard and respected. Building on this, the initial stages of the pitch preparation revealed a critical disconnect. The creative team, fixated on grand gestures, failed to grasp the subtleties of Evelyn Reed's brand philosophy. They presented flashy concepts that lacked the depth and authenticity she sought. Amelia, however, had been meticulously studying Reed's company, poring over press releases, analyzing social media presence, and understanding the nuances of the product itself. She saw the genuine passion behind the brand, the values that resonated with its target audience. Have you ever been through something like this? Or do you know someone who has? We'd love to read your comment below. We read everything with an open heart, and who knows, maybe your words will help someone else too. Also, check if you're still subscribed. There are many powerful stories coming, and you don't want to miss the next episodes. If you're enjoying the story, leave a like and tell us where you're listening from. It really helps us understand your thoughts and keeps us motivated to keep going. If you love stories that truly move you, that warm your heart, or give you chills, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. I promise the next story might surprise you even more. Conversely, the agency's leadership, preoccupied with securing the contract, pressured the team to prioritize superficial appeal over genuine substance. They missed the critical point that Reed valued integrity and transparency above all else. Amelia, witnessing this, began subtly guiding the preparation process, ensuring the campaign aligned with the client's core values. She did this not through direct intervention, but through strategic suggestions, insightful questions, and the meticulous organization of information that shaped the presentation. Another crucial layer is the element of observation. Amelia possessed an extraordinary ability to read people, to understand their unspoken needs and anxieties. She saw the pressure the creative team was under, the fear of failure that gnawed at them. She understood Evelyn Reed's exacting standards, her desire for a campaign that reflected her own values. This awareness, this subtle understanding of human nature, became her greatest asset. Now, consider how this applies when you face a situation where you are underestimated. Do you succumb to the limitations imposed upon you, or do you leverage your unique understanding, your quiet competence, to influence the outcome? Amelia chose the latter, demonstrating that true influence is not about demanding recognition, but about consistently delivering value. She understood that the most profound revolutions are often silent, waged not through overt rebellion, but through the subtle, unwavering commitment to excellence. Moreover, the unspoken language of the office, the subtle cues and power dynamics, played a significant role in Amelia's quiet ascent. The creative team, accustomed to a culture of self-promotion and grandstanding, often overlooked the importance of collaboration and genuine connection. They were so focused on individual brilliance that they missed the power of collective effort. Amelia, conversely, understood that true success was a team sport. She fostered an environment of support and mutual respect, ensuring that every voice was heard and every contribution valued. Building on this, the very architecture of the office, the open plan layout designed to foster creativity, unintentionally created a breeding ground for superficiality. The constant flow of information and the relentless pressure to perform often led to a shallowness of thought. Amelia, however, cultivated a haven of focused attention within this chaotic environment. She meticulously organized her workspace, ensuring that she had the resources and information she needed to excel. This was her strategic advantage, a quiet sanctuary of productivity amidst the storm. Furthermore, consider the contrast between surface-level communication and the deeper, more meaningful interactions that Amelia fostered. The creative team often relied on jargon and buzzwords, attempting to impress with their vocabulary rather than their substance. Amelia, by contrast, communicated with clarity and precision. She understood the importance of simplicity, of conveying complex ideas in a way that was easily understood and appreciated. Her communication style was a breath of fresh air in a world of inflated egos and empty promises. Consequently, The impending pitch became a microcosm of the agency's internal struggles. The creative team, blinded by their own ambition, failed to connect with the client on a meaningful level. They presented concepts that were technically brilliant, but lacked the emotional resonance that Evelyn Reed sought. Amelia, however, saw the opportunity to bridge the gap. She understood the client's needs, her values, and her vision. She leveraged this understanding to subtly guide the presentation, ensuring that it reflected the client's true aspirations. Conversely, consider the inherent challenges of navigating a hierarchical structure where one's contributions are consistently undervalued. Many would succumb to the frustration, becoming cynical or disengaged. Amelia, however, chose a different path. She saw her perceived limitations as a source of strength. She understood that her position, while seemingly powerless, offered her a unique perspective and the freedom to operate outside the constraints of the traditional power structure. This was her hidden advantage, the ability to work quietly and effectively without the burden of ego or expectation. Another crucial layer is the role of observation in shaping the narrative. The office, with its constant activity and shifting dynamics, provided a rich tapestry of human behavior. Amelia, a keen observer, absorbed this information, using it to her advantage. She understood the motivations of each player, the alliances and rivalries that shape the office's culture. This knowledge, this subtle awareness of human nature, became her most valuable asset. Now, consider how this applies when you are in a situation where you are perceived as insignificant. Do you allow yourself to be defined by the labels others impose upon you, or do you find a way to leverage your unique strengths? Amelia chose the latter, demonstrating that true power lies not in position or title, but in the quiet, unwavering commitment to excellence. She became an exemplar of how consistent effort and keen observation can transform perceived limitations into a source of genuine influence. Furthermore, the agency's environment, often perceived as a meritocracy, concealed a more complex reality. While creative talent was ostensibly prized, the unspoken rules favored those who conformed to a specific archetype: the charismatic, assertive, and often self-absorbed individual. Amelia, however, possessed a different kind of brilliance, one that thrived on meticulousness, empathy, and the ability to connect disparate elements. Her strengths, though crucial to the agency's success, were often overshadowed by the more flamboyant personalities. Building on this, the very nature of advertising, with its emphasis on novelty and innovation, inadvertently devalued the contributions of those who provided stability and consistency. The focus was perpetually on the next big idea, the groundbreaking campaign that would capture the public's imagination. Amelia, however, understood that true success was built on a foundation of careful planning, meticulous execution, and unwavering attention to detail. She was the bedrock upon which the agency's creative flights of fancy were built, a fact often overlooked in the pursuit of the spectacular. Consequently, consider the concept of invisible labor. This refers to the often unseen efforts that underpin any complex project, the tasks that are essential for success, but rarely acknowledged or rewarded. Amelia's work exemplified this. She was the one who ensured that deadlines were met, that clients were satisfied, that the agency's reputation remained intact. Yet, her contributions were often attributed to others, her efforts subsumed within the collective narrative of the team's success. Conversely, reflect on the power of quiet resilience. In a world that celebrates boldness and assertiveness, Amelia's approach was a testament to the strength of quiet determination. She didn't seek the spotlight. She focused on doing her job to the best of her ability, regardless of the recognition she received. This unwavering commitment, this refusal to be defined by the limitations others imposed, became her greatest asset. Another crucial layer is the subtle art of influence, a skill that Amelia honed over years of observation and experience. She understood that true influence is not about wielding power or issuing commands. It's about building relationships, earning trust, and subtly guiding others towards a shared goal. She didn't demand recognition. She earned it through her actions, her consistent professionalism, and her unwavering commitment to excellence. Now, consider how this applies when you are in a situation where your contributions are overlooked. Do you become embittered, resentful, or do you find a way to leverage your unique strengths? Amelia chose the latter, demonstrating that true power lies not in position or title, but in the quiet, unwavering commitment to excellence. She was the embodiment of the idea that the most profound changes often occur when those who are deemed insignificant quietly reshape the world around them. Her story is a testament to the power of quiet strength, of the ability to thrive, even when the world seems determined to undervalue your contribution. Her actions demonstrate that true value lies not in the perception of others, but in the unwavering commitment to one's own intrinsic worth. As the narrative threads converge, a compelling pattern emerges, revealing a subtle choreography of influence and transformation. We've witnessed a landscape where the conventional measures of power falter, where the loud pronouncements of self-proclaimed leaders are often overshadowed by the quiet competence of those who operate outside the spotlight. The very fabric of the advertising world, a space that prizes innovation and charisma above all else, has begun to reveal its inherent contradictions, its vulnerabilities. Consider the way the story has unfolded, a gradual unveiling of the hidden forces at play. It wasn't a sudden eruption of rebellion or a dramatic power grab. Instead, it was a slow, deliberate burn, a quiet revolution waged from the periphery. We've seen how the seemingly insignificant details, the meticulous organization, the unwavering commitment to excellence, have gradually shifted the balance of power. Like tectonic plates shifting beneath the surface, the foundations of the story have been subtly rearranged, creating a new landscape of possibilities. Drawing these subtle threads together, we begin to perceive a deeper truth. The familiar narrative of ambition, of climbing the corporate ladder, of seeking recognition and reward, has yielded to a different kind of aspiration, a more profound understanding of what it means to truly succeed. The concept of just the secretary has undergone a remarkable transformation, evolving from a label of limitation into a symbol of quiet strength, of the unwavering belief in one's own intrinsic worth. This quiet strength, this ability to navigate the complexities of the office, to manage the chaos, to anticipate the needs of others, has become the true engine of transformation. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer. It's not about changing the system from the outside, but about redefining the terms of engagement from within. It's about recognizing that the most profound impact often comes from the individuals who are willing to challenge the status quo, not with overt rebellion, but with the quiet force of their competence and their commitment to their values. The story has built towards a moment of reckoning, a point where the true value of Amelia's contribution will be revealed. As we pivot towards the final reflection, consider the weight of unspoken expectations, the subtle pressures that shape our perceptions of ourselves and others. The agency, with its emphasis on creative brilliance, inadvertently created a hierarchy that often marginalized those whose strengths lay elsewhere. Amelia's journey has been a testament to the importance of recognizing and celebrating those often overlooked talents, those qualities that quietly drive the engine of success. This is the core of the narrative, the essence of her transformation. Reflecting on this journey so far, we realize that the power of the narrative lies not just in the specific events, but in the underlying principles it embodies. It's a story about the human condition, about the challenges we face, and the choices we make in the face of adversity. It's a story about the potential for transformation, the power of resilience, and the importance of believing in one's own intrinsic worth, regardless of the labels that others may impose. The stage is set, the anticipation builds, and the final act awaits. The pivotal moment arrived not with fanfare, but with a quiet request. As the creative team wrestled with last-minute revisions, Evelyn Reed, the discerning client, requested a private meeting, not with the CEO, not with the lead strategist, but with Amelia. The office, usually a hive of activity, fell silent. Whispers rippled through the open plan space, speculation swirling around the unexpected summons. Amelia, calm and composed, gathered her notes, her meticulously organized presentation materials, and walked towards the conference room. Inside, the atmosphere was charged. Evelyn Reed, a woman accustomed to commanding attention, sat waiting. The creative team, visibly deflated, hovered nearby, their faces a mixture of anxiety and bewilderment. The air crackled with unspoken tension, the weight of the pitch hanging heavy in the room. Amelia, however, remained unfazed. She met Reed's gaze with a quiet confidence, a sense of self-assuredness that belied her perceived position. The ensuing conversation was not a grand declaration or a dramatic confrontation. Instead, it was a dialogue, a genuine exchange between two women. Reed, weary of superficiality and empty promises, sought authenticity. She wanted to know the heart of the campaign, the values that underpinned it. Amelia, drawing on her intimate knowledge of Reed's brand and her profound understanding of the client's vision, presented not just ideas, but a genuine connection. She articulated the core values, the subtle nuances, the emotional resonance that the creative team had overlooked. She spoke of the painstaking research, the intricate details, the meticulous planning that had gone into every aspect of the pitch. She detailed the empathy she felt for Reed's brand, the genuine desire to capture its essence. She didn't boast or overstate. She simply presented the truth, the unwavering commitment to excellence that had guided her every step of the way. In that moment, the room seemed to shift. The unspoken hierarchy crumbled, replaced by a recognition of genuine value. The outcome of the pitch, while important, became secondary to the deeper transformation that had occurred. Sterling and Vance secured the account, but more importantly, Evelyn Reed found a true partner, someone who understood her vision and shared her commitment to integrity. The creative team, humbled by the experience, began to appreciate the value of collaboration and the importance of going beyond surface-level aesthetics. The agency as a whole began to reassess its priorities, recognizing the true power of quiet competence and the importance of valuing every member of the team. Amelia, in her own quiet way, had not just changed the outcome of a pitch, she had redefined the meaning of success. She had demonstrated that true influence is not about position or title, but about the unwavering commitment to one's own intrinsic worth. She had shown that the most profound revolutions are often silent, waged not through overt rebellion, but through the consistent, unwavering dedication to excellence. Her journey, from just the secretary to the key to unlocking a client's trust, became a testament to the power of quiet strength. The lasting impact of Amelia's story extends beyond the confines of the advertising world. It serves as a reminder that the world often undervalues the contributions of those who operate outside the spotlight. It encourages us to recognize the hidden strengths in those around us, the quiet competence that often drives the engine of success. It challenges us to question the labels we impose on others, the limitations we place on ourselves. The true practice begins now, in the everyday moments, in the subtle acts of kindness, in the unwavering commitment to our own values. It's about recognizing that the most profound changes often begin with the quiet courage to be true to ourselves, to believe in our own intrinsic worth, even when the world tells us otherwise. It's about embracing the potential for transformation, the power of resilience, and the importance of recognizing that the most valuable contributions are often the ones we cannot see, the ones that quietly shape the world around us.